Hi everyone, welcome to this new video of number series which is brought to you by KettleMind. KettleMind is a one-stop solution for different exams and brain training. So from this video we'll be starting off with a new concept of number series which is square series. Square series is the easiest concept among the number series. In number series, square series is considered to be the easiest concept. So we'll do these three steps in order to understand how we determine the square series, the occurrence of square series. Then we'll do two questions of example and then two questions for the paper point of view. So we'll be following the same pattern as of what we've been doing till now. So let's start. The first step says in the given series, check if each term is a square of some number or not. If yes, if each term is a square number of some number, then check for the pattern in the occurrence of these terms. Whether the terms are increasing or decreasing. There must be some pattern, right? The first one is increasing, then the other is decreasing, then again decreasing. So we have to determine that pattern. Third says if there is a pattern, then the given series is a square series. Very easy steps, very easy steps. So I'll move on to the examples, not wasting any time here, and we'll understand it from there because this will get clear with examples itself. So the first series, let us say, is 4, 9, 16, 25, and then this question mark we need to evaluate it. So we'll be doing the same three steps that we have just studied. We'll see if the terms are square. If the terms are square of some numbers, then step 2 is we check for pattern. We check if the series is increasing or decreasing. Is increasing or decreasing. Then step 3 says check for square series, right? So now following these steps again in order to evaluate this example. So I'll do step 1 first. So you see 4, 9, 16, 25, these all are square terms, right? So these are square terms. So if I talk about 4, 4 is the square of 2. Similarly 9 is the square of 3. Talking about 16 is the square of 4. Talking about 25 is the square of 5. So you see, if we have evaluated step 1 that if the terms are square of some numbers. So you see each term is a square of some number, right? Now we'll come back to step 2. We go to step 2. Step 2 says check if the series is increasing or decreasing. So when I move from 2 to 3, there's an increment of plus 1. From 3 to 4, there's again an increment of plus 1. From 4 to 5, there's again an increment of plus 1. So it's a increasing order series. It's an increasing order series, right? So now we stop here. We'll now move back as what we have learned as of now. Since it's an increasing order series, the next term would also be a square term of plus 1 increment on 5, right? Which is 6 square. So now 6 square is equal to 36, right? So now this question mark gets replaced by 36. So hence, instead of this question mark in the series, 36 will come in. Pretty easy, I'm sure. No doubt as of now, I am sure of that. So we'll do another example to make it more clear if at all there is some doubt. So consider this series now. Again the same sort of series. We have 1, 4, 9, then this question mark, then 25, then 36, right? We'll follow the same 4 steps that we have studied so far. In step 1 we check if all the terms are square of some numbers. Step 2 says check if increasing or decreasing. Step 3 says check for square series, right? So now in order to evaluate this question mark, we'll be following the same steps. We will do step 1 first. So if I talk about 1, 1 is the square of 1 itself, right? Talking about 4, 4 is the square of 2, right? 9 is the square of 3. I have to evaluate this question mark. I cannot say right now. 25 is the square of 5 and 36 is the square of 6. So step 1 gets completed here. We'll move on to step 2. Step 1 gets completed by seeing that every term in the series is a square of some number. Now step 2 says check if this is an increasing order or a decreasing order series. So if you see from 1 to 2 there's an increment of plus 1. Again from 2 to 3 there's an increment of plus 1. I cannot say about this term as of now. Same for this because I don't know this term. But from 5 to 6 there's again an increment of plus 1. So you see in the entire series there's a constant increase. There's a constant increment of plus 1. So a constant increment is found in the square series. So we'll stop here and we'll backtrack in order to evaluate this question mark, right? So the next term after this 3, since it's a constant, there's a constant increment of plus 1, the next term would also be an increment of plus 1 on 3, right? Which is 4, and square of 4 is equal to 16, right? So now this question mark gets replaced by 16. So you see, first there was a square of 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So every term in this series is a square of some number, right? So that is what a step 3 says, and hence this is a square series. So I hope this is clear. I'm sure that there's no doubt about this concept. Pretty easy concept. So we'll be moving on to the set of 2 questions now from the exam point of view, and we'll see how we should approach these questions. So let's see. So let's see these 2 questions and see how we should approach them. So we'll be following the same 3 steps that we have studied as of now. Step 1, step 2 and step 3. I am not writing the details here of these steps, but I'll be discussing along with this question now. So the series that is given to us is 1, 4, 9, 16, then this 25 and then this question mark which needs to be evaluated. So we'll be starting off with step 1. So step 1 says that find that if each term in the series is a square of some number. So if you see almost a similar type of question we have seen in the example right now. So 1 is a square of itself. Similarly 4 is a square of 2. 9 is a square of 3. Similarly 16 is a square of 4. 5 square is 25. And we have to evaluate this. So our step 1 satisfies here that each term of the given series is a square of some number, right? So moving on to step 2, it says that check if these numbers are either in the increasing pattern or in decreasing pattern. There must be some pattern here. So it is saying that either it is an increasing pattern or a decreasing pattern. So if you see that from 1 to 2 there is an increment of plus 1. Similarly from 2 to 3 there is another increment of plus 1. Same goes for 3 to 4, an increment of plus 1, and then same goes for 4 to 5, an increment of plus 1. So since there is a same increment of plus 1 found, we stop and our step 2 also gets satisfied. So in order to make sure that it's a square series, we now track back in order to evaluate this question mark. So since it's the same numbers, it's a square series, we do an increment of plus 1 on 5, which makes it equal to 6. And since I have to evaluate this question mark, which is the square of some number, so the number here is 6, so square of 6 is 36, right? And this question mark now gets replaced by 36. Going by the options, you see B option also says the same thing. So hence our option is right, our answer is right. And if you see in this question, you see that there's a constant increment of plus 1 among the square numbers. First was 1, then 2, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, and then this 6 square. So this also verifies this answer, right? So I'll do the next question, which is the final question for this video. It's a very interesting question, different than the ones that we have done so far. So let's consider the series now. The series is 625, 576, 529, then 484, and then this question mark, right? So there are different steps that we follow. There's 3 steps: step 1, step 2, and step 3. I'm not writing it here, but we'll be following the same steps. So let's do step 1 first. We have to determine for which number are these square of. So 625 is a square of 25, and 576 is a square of 24. 529 is a square of 23. Similarly, 484 is a square of 22. And now we have to evaluate this question mark. So our step 1 is satisfied here, since each number in the series, each term in the series is a square of some number, right? So moving on to step 2, it says that check for the pattern among the series if it's an increasing series or a decreasing series. So you see there's a decrement of -1 in the numbers now. Earlier we studied an increment. In this series we're studying decrement. We're studying decrement. From 23 to 22 there's again a decrement of -1. So there's a decrement. There's a decrement of -1 in the series, right? So we stop here and we now backtrack in order to evaluate this question mark. In order to get this question mark, we have to decrement -1 on 22. So -1 on 22 makes it equal to 21. And since this term, the question mark, is a square of this number, I'll have to do a square of 21, which is 4, 4, 1. This is a square. Yeah. So this is 4, 4, 1. So now this question mark gets replaced by 4, 4, 1, which is also the last option for this question. So I hope this concept is now clear. I am sure that it is not a very difficult one to understand, and it is clear as of now. But still, if you have any doubt, you can anytime go to our app, the KettleMind app, and you can see this video again for the square series. You can also attempt questions from the same concept which are listed there. So that's a very good help that you will get. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
We're introducing KettleMind, which provides you with personalized brain training. Here's how it works. Practice 10 minutes every day. Track your progress over time. Play with friends and family, and see where you stand. KettleMind has 25 fun and interactive learning games to improve your skills. As you play, you can track your performance on a daily basis. Additionally, you can challenge and compete with your friends and family on multiplayer. KettleMind helps you to increase attention span, process and retain information, learn and remember, as well as enhance reasoning and decision-making skills. Download from Google Play right now.